Well, Jerry, we thought we'd see what was new around town. As you can see, there's a new Arby's here. This is the old Gladstone farm right here. They're adding right at the corner of 31 and McCollum Lake Road. They're adding on a bunch of buildings here. There's going to be a Sears out here. Target has just recently opened up, as you can see. There's the Kmart up there that was always there. Here's the new Arby's. This is at 31 and McCollum Lake Road again. That's the intersection right there. See if we can get a better picture of Target over here. Yeah, here's the new Target Center. Even got some blacks in McHenry. Things are really changing. And then there's the Kmart, which you've seen already, I'm sure. Now we're turning right on McCollum Lake Road to go out to Riverside Drive. Kmart to our right. Going down McCollum Lake Road, these are all, if you read the paper, there was people complaining about these houses up here. These are the homes by Hemphill that everybody was so disturbed about. And right up here is Riverside Drive, obviously. Walt Friend used to live right down the road there. And we'll go see what else we can find that's new. Well, we're at the intersection of Riverside Drive and Johnsburg Road. On your left is the new Dutch Creek Estates subdivision, which we'll pull into. I think you've seen this on another video before, maybe not, but we'll go for a quick ride through the subdivision, see what it looks like. Nice entrance. A little mailbox structure there. Right now, over those mounds there, we're looking back towards Gene Hughes's place on the corner of Riverside Drive and Johnsburg Road. Pretty nice subdivision. Designed, of course, by Smith Engineering. Tom Janik lives in that second house up there to the right. As you can see, there's some pretty expensive homes in here. Of course, this is in Johnsburg, and I don't know if you could expect anything less. But the nice thing about this subdivision is you can see quite a ways. You get up to the top of this hill here, and you can see out pretty far. Here's the McHenry water tower. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. That's got to be the water tower right underneath, or right by Cooney Heights. Yep. A lot of new homes going up. And we're coming back to Johnsburg Road is straight ahead. I'm going to head into Johnsburg and see if there's anything around there. Maybe you haven't been in Johnsburg lately, so we'll just leave the camera right on as we're heading into Johnsburg and see what the town looks like. Not too much has changed except probably 100 times the amount of traffic that they used to have 10 years ago. Oh, I better slow down here. Cops in Johnsburg are pretty bad. Remember, this is an incorporated city now, so they have their own police. Put up a little strip mall here in Barbara Eltoff's old store. Hacks is now called Tappers. Teenage bar, basically, or I shouldn't say a teenage, more like a yuppie bar. Joe Hiller's store does pottery. Hedderman's is still there and still called Hedderman's. They made the old Sinclair station a Citgo, and then they had it right next to it a little ice cream shop. But nothing out this way has changed too much. We're going to reconstruct this entire section of roadway all the way out to Ringwood Road. Heman Well Drilling has moved out up to Ringwood. Got a bait shop now in there. There's Wally and Viv's backyard. Second house to the left. And the bank. And the new fire garage. Station number 2 in Johnsburg. And like I said, there's the bank. Church Street to my left. Shallow Ridge subdivision is a new subdivision. Actually, we're in the old Sunnyside now, but still called Johnsburg. Strip shopping center off to the right. Vailmar Center and Vale's Foods. And the old downtown Sunnyside really hasn't changed at all. They still got their bar on the corner and gas station on the left, and have added this mobile station here. We're going to shut her off now because everything's pretty much the same right here. Well, I think you'll find out that it's interesting what happened in Volo here. I'm coming from Fox Lake right now on Route 12, coming to the town of Volo. I'm going to turn on the turn at this intersection of 120. But if you notice the sign up there, it says Volo Village Road. It's no longer 120. And we'll show you what happened to 120. Okay, so now I'm on what used to be 120, but is now called Volo Village Road. You can see the lack of traffic in Volo here, so obviously this isn't the main route of 120 anymore. That was Gilmer Road we just passed to the left. And St. Peter's Church. Nothing has changed too much in Volo. In the old Volo Village here. Nothing's changed until we get to this point right here, which we used to just continue on Route 120. Well, all of a sudden we got to make a sharp left here. And then we come to the new Route 120. I'm going to take a right now and head back towards Lakemore. And as you can see, we now have a 4-lane Route 120. And I'm going to go up here a ways and turn around and come back towards Volo and show you what's happened there. Alright, I'm going to shut off the camera so we can turn around now. If you look straight ahead, that's just Lakemore up in that area, so I'll be right with you. Okay, now I'm back on 120, headed towards the east, towards Waukegan. I'm coming up on Volo. And what's going to happen here is we're going to bypass Volo. They actually made a Volo bypass. Normally Route 120 would have gone to the left here, right where that truck's going, right there to the left, right down that way in the red car. But instead, it swings now around the south side of Volo. Nice fancy 4-lane road. There's Munson Marine straight ahead on Route 12. And we're coming to the Route 12 intersection. There's Bobby's Barrels Inn. That's the road that goes to Bobby's Barrel Inn. Now that used to be the old Gilmer Road cutoff, which is now no longer accessible to Route 12. I'm going to turn off my camera a minute. Okay, now we're crossing Route 12. You can no longer get to Gilmer Road if you notice. You have to come up to this next signal, and this is the Gilmer Road intersection. And that heads out that way and connects into the old Gilmer Road. And then if you continue on here, you say, well, what's happened to 60? Well, there's Coneman Sausage right there. That's the old 60, which is no longer in existence. You'll see this next traffic signal up here. That's 60 to the right. That's where 60 begins. Route 120, however, there's no longer a Y intersection here. Route 120 just continues straight through. I'm going to take a right on 60 here once. And turn around and head back towards McHenry. But as you can see, we just make a quick turn here. And eventually we get back to the old 60. Which begins about right here at this difference in pavement. So now I turned around, I'm headed back on 60, back in towards Volo, back towards the west. 60 used to go dead straight ahead there, but now it curves to the right. Makes a T intersection with 120. And here's the old frontage road for 60. But now makes a T intersection right here. And now we're back on 120, headed towards McHenry. Still have not come to the village of Volo. However, you can see the old Route 60 right to the right there, leading up towards Coneman's. This guy in front of me is turning right onto that old section of pavement that's now called Volo Village Road. And that goes by Coneman's, and once again we're on the southerly bypass of Volo. Well, we just crossed Route 12. We're still on that southerly bypass. If you go immediately to your right, that's the old village of Volo. In fact, there is the old village of Volo with St. Peter's sticking up over there, and the antique store over there. And I'm going to kind of leave this on all the way in towards McHenry because things have changed drastically all the way into the city of McHenry. Oh, I gotta answer the phone. Hold on. Now we're coming into the village of Volo. You can see, or Lakemore. You can see that the operating engineers have a new building right here. Just to the left is Darrell Road, but you can see they don't quite have this completed yet through Lakemore. It's going to be 4 lanes all the way to McHenry, obviously, but they're still working on that. Lakemore's still the beautiful village it always was, with its beautiful lake shore and beautiful lake. But they've done a lot of work here too. They put up these retaining walls along here, if you noticed, on the left and also on the right side to protect the houses and to protect people from going into the lake. Coming up on the Longhorn Steakhouse on the left. I would think this roadway is going to be open in a matter of a month or so here. They have everything paved. They tore down the old fire station on the corner of Lily Lake Road and 120 right here and put up a new one. Kind of looks like that one we just saw in Johnsburg. Ugly. And the Nunda Library, McHenry Nunda Library. Looks like they have to put the center median in yet, and then they'll be all set. I hope I'm not boring you here. Chuck Weingard's farm coming up on the right. And we're coming up to the Chapel Hill Road intersection. You can see the Eastwood Manor water tower straight ahead. Fancy new Shell station on the corner. Once again, all 4 lanes are paved. It looks like they have about a month worth of work to do yet. Alright, they got the center median in right here. Rich Adams moved out here east of town. He's got an unbelievable spread here, just full of trailers and junk trailers and everything you can imagine. Nothing too much new on this side of town, just as ugly as ever. And I'm going to shut the camera off here. My arm's getting tired. I don't know if you've seen the new McHenry State Bank building, but there she be. Pretty big. Big new 2-story building. Very nice looking. We'll cut around the back here and then turn around. And then there's the, I guess they call that the Weber building. So really about the only thing the bank doesn't own is this mobile gas station on the corner, which is still owned by Kepke, but as you can see, the new bank's quite a nice facility. Something new in the post office, it's a window dealer, a window and a door dealer. Building looks a lot nicer since the post office moved out. And we'll head south on Green Street. Now I'm at a red light, I'm going to shut her down. Here's the bank looking, I'm at the corner right of 120 and 31, looking east. Okay, now we're headed down Green Street. Nothing has changed here at all, with the exception of various merchants moving in and out of town. City Hall sitting vacant. East Campus looking pretty nice. The soon-to-be vacant library. And we're going to turn right on James Street and see if Sally's home. And it certainly appears that they are. Well, Sally and Nick aren't home even though all the doors are open, so we'll have to swing by later and get it. Turn around here on James Street and we'll head down towards Nancy's way, I guess, and see what her house looks like. There's Sally and Nick's. And back up Green Street. Oops, I'm over the speed limit again, dang on it. The Althoff Mansion looking as beautiful as ever. Green Street's being reconstructed down through here. Once we get over the top of the hill, it is, I should say. Ah, there comes the phone again. Hold on. Well, alright, let's head back down Green Street. I took my phone call. As you can see, they got it ripped up. They're putting in curb and gutter and sidewalk. Right to the left is Fairway to the Kudas. Jeez, I just washed my car and now I'm going to get all dusty. And it just stops there just before the hill there leading up to Hezzy Miller's. We'll turn in here and see if I can remember where Nancy lives. I'm not sure that I do. I think this is the street she lives on, Lorient. Just a minute. Well, good thing Janet called for the 4th time because she told me that Nancy lives on Bretton's and not on Lorient, so I got to go one street over, which I'll turn at the stop sign. I'll turn again on Bretton's, and hopefully I can remember which one it is. Huh. Oh, I think this is it right here. Yep. Yep, there's Nancy's new house right there. Nice 2-car garage. Nancy's not home. I know today we called. Main entrance. Nice yard. And we'll come back to Nancy's someday when she's home. And as you can see, I'm just about back to the maintenance garage here on Green Street. And I'm going to turn left and head south. And now we're coming to the hill that goes up towards Hezzy Miller's. Your old farmstead's taking some growth pressures out here, so we'll go take a look and see what's happening there. There's the city hall right on the right. Coming up to Bull Valley Road, no longer called Idadel Road. Turn off the camera for a minute. Okay, we just crossed Bull Valley Road. There's Ellen Road to the right. And starting at this tree line, Jersted's putting in a massive development, 100 and some homes. what's he call it? Prairie Creek, or Pebble Creek it looks like. You can see he's got some roads cut in already. Trees planted, even though the corn's still out there. So that'll all be homes. I think I've taken you down Biscayne before, but I'm going to turn on Biscayne, which is that next Biscayne Highlands, which is that next subdivision right next to where the old homestead was. Speaking of the old homestead, there's the barn over there. Oh no, that's right. That wasn't you. That was Bolger, wasn't it? Or was that you? I'm not sure. Well, anyhow, this whole street is filled up. Bob Wagner lives right here. He works for me. There's a Smith Engineering car in the driveway. And as you can see, this road here will tie into Jersted's new subdivision. There's Bob Wagner's house again with that silver, or that tan Taurus. That's one of our cars. And that whole field behind them is all vacant farmland, which I'm assuming used to be part of the farm. Now we'll turn right and head down Green Street again. Take a look at how close the housing has crept up to the old farmstead. Otherwise everything's vacant. Now you can see the Tunyon Industrial Park through there. And we'll head back south to Prairie Grove. I'll turn the camera off for a little bit. Well, now we're headed south or north on 31. I'm going to speed up and try to catch up to this car in front of me. Oh my gosh. Better slow down. There we go. That's better. I think you'll see most of the changes in the city are happening right in our own corporate center, which is right here on the left. That's Brake Parts Building, if you recall. This intersection is going to get traffic signals any day now. We design traffic signals for here. I'm going to go down the left side, I think, here, and then show you what we have happening on the left side first. And then we'll come back on the right side. That's our office building on the right side there. Looks like somebody's in working today. I don't know whose car that is. First building here is the Platford Group. It's just a number of small businesses in what they call industrial condos. Don Reibold's got his beverage service in here, and B&H, the Hercuses, have a blueprint service in there. Next building is Ray Motors, where I think you used to work at Ray Motors. This is where they relocated. And we come to our landscape detention ponds here, which are pretty nicely done. There's one on that side, and there's also one on this side of the road. And we'll continue ahead here. This is Tech Medcor. Tech is the ambulance company. I think you've seen those ambulances, TEK. That stands for Thomas E. Krause. He's the owner of it. Here we got some vacant lots here. We're going west right now on Prime Parkway. This is a new building right here. Actually, and it's a new addition to a fairly new building. It's called Fabrique. They do plastic injection molding, if I understand correct, and you can see that this is still being constructed here. So this turned out to be a pretty big building here. I can't even tell where the old building left off. I think it left off right to the right of that door there. And straight ahead where those big towers are for the electric lines is Chicago Northwestern that runs into McHenry to the right. This is Polymer Colors here. Polymer Colors is also an injection molder, I think. Notice this is Miller Parkway, named after Chuck Miller. And we'll turn around here. That's future extension of a roadway to the south. This is Fabrique again. There's the Chicago Northwestern through there. You can see the tracks through there, right across the stormwater detention pond. That's the line that goes into McHenry. I'm going north now. This is a library book company, and I'm trying to think of the name of it, and I can't for the life of me. And surprisingly, they don't have a name out front. But it's a pretty nice looking office building. As you can see, it looks like a country club. And then straight ahead here is about 200 acres that's going to be built upon shortly by a very large Fortune 100 company. I'm not at liberty to say who that company is yet, but you'll be seeing it in the papers, I'm sure, in the next couple weeks. And it's an incredibly sized building, and certainly is probably equal to what's happened in Harvard. We're really excited about that. That should take place pretty soon here. So now I'm headed back south on Miller Parkway, and I'm going to turn left or go east on Prime Parkway. There's that Fabrique company again. Up here to the left is a very small building. I don't know why we left them in here. I think they're too small, and they're not really an attractive looking building, but nevertheless it's Joe Carey. Joe Carey broke off from Carey Electric and formed Ridgeway Electric, and that's his building up there, or Ridgeview Electric, I think it is, one of the two. Anyhow, that's the name of that street right there, is Ridgeway or Ridgeview. Ridgeway, I think. You can see the hospital right through there. And we're coming up to, there's Tech again on the right. We're coming up to Medela. They're a manufacturer of baby products. They just put a big addition on. Pretty nice looking building. There's our landscape pond again, our detention pond. Good fishing. And we're coming up on a new building which I'm part of, which is Center Point Industrial Condos. And that's what these buildings are right here. In the front here, in this front corner right here, is United Way. They moved over here from Crystal Lake. And in the back, about halfway, they stop halfway back, and then from that, roughly that door, that beige door to the left there, is an entrance to my condominium unit. I go all the way to the back here. We own that, and Smith Engineering stores their field equipment in there. This industrial condo is it's a part of the office building that we're in called Center Point. You can see the architecture and the brick are similar. Once again, here's our office building. In between is a courtyard for a daycare facility. And we're going to be turning left on Corporate Drive. A lot happening down Corporate Drive. There's my office right up there in the corner. Yep, you can see the picture of Janet up there. And my mother-in-law, yeah. And as usual, Smith Engineering has a few people working on the weekend. We can't seem to get ahead at all. This is the back entrance to our building. We have almost the whole upper floor of this building now. And as you can see, there's the daycare. The daycare is on the lower level, and here's their playground area here. Here's the industrial condo building coming up here that you saw from the front before. Here's some trucks of ours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're missing 2 vehicles. We have 9 vehicles. And this is, there's 2 doors there. I own roughly from the center, or not roughly, but exactly from the center of those 2 doors this way. So what we did is we leased out the area that's roughly framed by the camera right now to a company called Winston Technologies. They make barcodes for sticking on packages so the cash registers can read them. And then from that white door and that big garage door, we own that unit. Smith Engineering stores all their field equipment in there. We'll go take a look at it real quick. Right now it's just we threw all our stuff in there and got out of there quick, so let's go take a look at it. 1415. I didn't even know that address existed. As you can see, we got a mess in here right now. Pretty big building though. It's got, we're going to put 2 floors in here. 2 stories in here, which should be pretty nice. We'll be able to have a lower level of offices for the field personnel, and then an upper level, a mezzanine level, for the storage of all this garbage you see sitting around here. And when I say garbage, I mean garbage. Here's Janet's outside decorations. There's some more of that junk laying around here somewhere. As you notice, we got a nice basketball court in here, complete with a 3-point circle. And the free throw line. Let me turn on some lights here. So this works out pretty nice. And we got the basket there. Yes, I can stuff. And that's the door you saw before from the side. This looks directly towards Medela. Ooh, that's bright. And then here's where I'm parked, right back there. And then we'll go back in here. Turn the light off. This is going to be nice once we get it fixed up, because we have a nice operating overhead door and we'll have a lot of room in here. And this is only half the unit, remember. The other half, which is that way, is where we have Winston Technologies. So, that building directly over there is Follett Industries. They're a biggest school software company in the world. That's their national headquarters. We're looking at the side of it. And over there is a unbelievable addition to Brake Parts Corporation. And I mean, that building is massive. I don't know if I can get in there or not. We'll see. There's the old brake parts up there, if you remember. And that was a fairly decent sized building initially. We're constructing a walkway over to this big building here, which is going to be their warehouse. And as you can see, the whole back is filled with truck docks over there. We'll take a ride over there. And we'll head back out here. There's our office building once again. There's my corner office right up there. See if we can see Janet and my mother-in-law. Yep, there they are again. You can see pictures of them sitting right there. And we'll come out here and we're going to take a left on Corporate Drive, which is what we're doing right now. Newly constructed roadway that allows us to get to the new Follett plant. I shouldn't say plant, they produce software. You've heard of Follett books, I think, and Bantam books. Well, that's this is the company right here. This is the company that was in Eltoff's old building. They're moving out here and the library is going to take over the Eltoff's old building. So this road continues up here just a short ways. And as you can see, it's ready for extension to the south, or to the north. I'm sorry. There's Cunat's Irish Prairie buildings, which are right next to the hospital. You can see the hospital sticking its head up over the top of those buildings, barely. So I'll turn around here. Hold on a minute, and then straight ahead is the Brake Parts Warehouse, which is definitely one of the biggest buildings in McHenry County, and it's strictly warehouse. I think it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 truck docks. Let's see if I can, well, you can get an idea of the size. I was going to try to get in there, but I don't think there's no reason to. And then we're headed north now on, or south. I might get my directions a little mixed up in this tape. I hope I didn't mess you up. South on Corporate Drive, back past our office building, and back past Brake Parts building right here. And let's see here, we're gonna come up Prime Parkway. Take a left, head east. Come by Brake Parts. Notice our nicely landscaped entrance. On both sides, obviously. And we're now at 31, where we're going to get some new traffic signals. Once again, designed by Smith Engineering. And we'll take off, and there's William Tunyon's building. That's been there for a long time. And I'm going to shut the camera off here a minute. Okay, south on 31, there's the Tamara Royale, which you helped name from what I understand. We're going to turn left into Nimsey. Nimsey put on some additions here and are building a new office building. We'll go take a look at that quick. We'll turn left on Medical Center Drive into the complex designed by who else? Smith Engineering. And their main addition was put on around the back side, so we'll go around the back side, see how that looks. Obviously, you know this property well, the old Stilling farm. That old oak tree used to sit right there, right next to the barn. I remember that when we first started building this project. But the hospital decided to build their own daycare center. That's what you see right here. Nicely done. And then the hospital added on all these lower 2 levels. In the back they extended it out quite a bit. It never used to be that big. And they've added all that stuff on back there. And right now they are building a medical office building, a new addition to the medical office building. Which you can see to the left there. Pretty large addition to the medical office building, as a matter of fact. Over on this side is Keenat's Irish Prairie with all his condominiums. And once again, a site plan designed by Smith Engineering. That centerpiece you might not be familiar with either, but that's the Center for Cancer Care. That piece right there at that entrance, that's a complete cancer center. Right behind it, those windows right up in, let me see if I can zoom in there. Yeah, right up in there, that's the old medical office building, the doctor's office building. And then everything to the left there is a brand new medical office building. And there's their helicopter, Flight for Life. But it's quite an interesting looking facility. I'm going to shut off the camera for a minute. Okay, we're headed around the east side of the building. Coming up to Medical Center Drive. Going to take a left here. See if we can see what that new medical center looks like, for the new medical office building, I should say. Looks like from the front. Take a left here on the main approach up to the hospital. There's the old office building on the left, and the new on the right. As you can see, there's a lot of building there. That building is bigger than the old McHenry Hospital. And if you look straight out, you see Bull Valley Road way down there. There's Bull Valley Road and the railroad crossing right there, and some of Jersted's new subdivisions over there. And now we're approaching Bull Valley Road. And we're going to take a left or go west on Bull Valley Road. And it's junky as usual here. In fact, right here's JJ Salvage, Junkie John Salvage. He's still there doing business as usual, smoking on his stogie. So I'm going to turn the camera off for a minute. We're coming up to Holy Apostles shortly. And I'm turning it back on as we're getting closer to Crystal Lake Road. And you can see Holy Apostles coming up on the left. We'll take a little spin into Holy Apostles. I can't believe there is not a car in the parking lot, and it's Sunday at 3 o'clock. There's always somebody at Holy Apostles. Hard to believe. Take a look at the new bell tower that's been installed, which you see coming up there, which is in the shape of a fish. Actually, from the front, the building doesn't really look that bad, I guess. From other directions, I'm not real pleased with it or impressed with it, I guess we could say. But who cares, really, right? See, the roof doesn't match the brick very well, I don't think. Let's see if we can get a little closer look at the bell tower here. No matter which way you look at it, it's in the shape of a fish. Oh, that bell was donated by somebody locally, I know. But anyhow, there you have, oh, there is a car here. I was a little worried there for a minute. One of the groupies are here doing something. Nice flowers that I planted and been keeping a green thumb on. Side entrances. Catholic Charities has a office in this building here. That's their entrance. And that takes pretty much care of them. Well, we've kind of switched communities here, and I'm now in Woodstock on Route 14. We're headed towards Crystal Lake, and we have another facility up here that is currently under construction. That's probably Woodstock's biggest change in a long time, and that's Memorial Hospital's relocating. You can see it just straight ahead on the road there, sticking up over the road. I don't know how to quite explain to you where we're at here, but anyhow, we're just a little bit southeast of Woodstock, and as we come over this hill, you'll be able to see the facility. They actually own all this vacant land to the right, but they're building over here, and they're going to be building some medical office buildings over here also. So this is the new Memorial Hospital. Once again, the site plan by Smith Engineering as usual. And the Route 14 reconstruction with traffic signals by Smith Engineering as usual. This is going to open, I think, in a month or two, if I understand correctly. And we just turned right on the Doty Road. There's the facility. Not a very attractive facility in my opinion. But then again, I guess my opinion doesn't mean too much. This is a new entrance, two entrances to the hospital off of Doty Road actually. And looks like they've started landscaping, got pretty many trees out here. Pretty generic, ugly facility if you ask me. Fortunately, we didn't have anything to do with the design of that. We did, however, do the entire site plan. Including the radial parking lot here with landscaped islands. This, I think, is the main entrance. As a matter of fact, it's hard to tell. No, there's the main entrance right up there. It's hard to tell what we really have here, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's the main entrance we're looking at right there. And as you can see, the roads are extended, and all of this property towards the city of Woodstock is all vacant. That's going to be medical office buildings, similar to to what Nimsey did in McHenry. Still got some work to do here. Once again, not a very attractive facility at all. Here's the helipad right here. We'll have a flight for life also. So this must be the emergency rooms right across here. No, not the outhouses. The building, I'm sure, are the emergency rooms right across from the helipad. But there you have Memorial Hospital. Not real impressive in my opinion. But I guess it's a functional facility, and that's what they were looking for. Sure is a nice site plan, I'll say that. Well, I'm running out of battery. I did run out of battery. I better turn this off and put another one on. Well, as we're entering McHenry, I'm running out of tape and battery both. We'll sign off for now, and we'll see you next time. A preview of coming attractions. We have Harvard Motorola. We have Sally's house. We have Nancy's new house. We have Prairie Isle Golf Course. Complete tour of the new golf course and the clubhouse. And for now, that's it. So we'll see you later.